There is a strange thing that happens as we age. When you're young, a single summer feels like a lifetime. A school year stretches endlessly. A birthday feels impossibly far away. But as you grow older, the years begin to collapse into each other. Months pass like weeks. Weeks feel like days. And the distance between two birthdays becomes nothing more than a brief exhale. People often say, time flies. But the truth is more unsettling. Time isn't flying. You are changing. And the way your mind experiences time changes with you. Today, we explore why time feels faster the older you get. Not in poetic terms, but in psychological reality. The truth of how the brain counts time, stores time, and ultimately loses track of it. And to understand this, we must start with something simple. Your brain does not measure time the way clocks do. A clock counts seconds. Your mind counts experiences. And those are not the same thing. When you were a child, almost everything was new. Your first school, your first friends, your first fears, your first victories, your first failures. The world was filled with unfamiliar colors, sounds, textures, and emotions. Your brain had to process all of it, carefully, slowly, curiously. Because of that, childhood is full of memory, and memory creates the feeling of long time. But as you grow older, something quiet and dangerous happens. Life becomes routine. You wake up, you work, you commute, you repeat. The new becomes rare, the familiar becomes normal, and the brain stops recording. This is the first great truth about why time speeds up. Repetition erases the feeling of time. Novelty restores it. Think of the last time you traveled somewhere new. A new city, a new culture, a new environment. Do you remember how those days felt longer, richer, fuller? That's because your brain stored more. The more memory your mind collects, the longer time feels. The less memory it collects, the shorter time feels. This is the paradox. We say we want peace and routine, but routine is the very thing that makes life feel short. The second reason time accelerates is even more subtle. When you are young, every year is a large percentage of your life. Your fifth year is 20% of everything you've ever known. Your 10th year is 10%. But by the time you are 30, a year is just 3%. By 50, 2%. By 70, a little more than 1%. This shrinking percentage makes each year feel disproportionately smaller than the last. It is not that time is moving faster. It is that each year feels like a thinner slice of the total pie of your life. Your mind notices this ratio. Even if you aren't aware of it, your brain feels it. The third reason time seems to speed up is emotional. Children feel time slowly because they are constantly present. A child is not thinking about yesterday. A child is not worried about tomorrow. Their attention is here, in this room, in this moment, in this feeling. But an adult's mind is rarely where their body is. You might be walking, but you are thinking about work. You might be eating, but you're thinking about bills. You may be sitting with someone, but your mind is elsewhere. When the mind is not present, time passes without being lived. And moments that are not lived cannot be remembered. And moments that are not remembered feel like they never happened. This is why entire years can vanish in adulthood. Life was happening, but you were somewhere else. Children experience life. Adults observe it from a distance. And the more distance you create between yourself and your life, the faster that life seems to disappear. The fourth reason time accelerates is neurological. As you age, your brain becomes more efficient. It processes the world faster, it predicts better, it recognizes patterns instantly. And because of this efficiency, fewer things feel surprising. Fewer things feel meaningful. Fewer create emotional spikes. Your brain's novelty reward system slowly quiets down. And without novelty, the perception of time compresses. But the most important reason, and the most painful, is this. The older you get, the more you realize you have fewer days ahead than behind. And when you finally understand the value of time, that is exactly when it begins slipping away the fastest. Life feels slow until you begin appreciating it, and then you watch it vanish. So, what can we do? Are we doomed to experience life faster and faster until it finally ends? Not exactly. There are ways, real psychological ways, to slow down the feeling of time. Not by changing the hours on the clock, but by changing the way your mind experiences them. The first method is to reintroduce novelty into your life. This doesn't require travel or extreme adventure. Novelty can be small. A new route to work, a new cafe, a new book, a new skill, new people, new ideas. Anything that wakes the brain from the haze of repetition slows down time. Novelty forces the brain to pay attention, and whatever the mind pays attention to gets recorded. Whatever gets recorded becomes memory, and memory is the anchor of time. The second method is presence, and presence is not mystical, it is attentional. It is the discipline of noticing the temperature of your coffee, noticing the sound of footsteps, noticing the wind, the smell of the air, the texture of a surface, noticing the sensation of being alive in this exact moment. Presence is the act of convincing your mind that the current moment is worthy of being stored. Because when a moment is stored, time slows. When it is ignored, time evaporates. The third method is emotional engagement. Your brain records emotion, even small ones, far more vividly than emptiness. If you're emotionally indifferent for most of your days, those days will disappear from memory. Emotions don't need to be dramatic, they only need to be real. Curiosity, awe, gratitude, connection, even brief conversations that touch something deeper. The fourth method is reflection. Time feels fast when life blurs. Reflection sharpens it. When you write, think, or talk about your experiences, you reinforce them. You create memory, you create depth, you create meaning. Meaning slows time. And the fifth method, the one most people avoid, is confronting your relationship with mortality. Not in a fearful way, but in a clarifying way. When you understand that time is limited, you begin to treat it differently. You begin to fill it with intention instead of habits, with awareness instead of numbness, with experience instead of routines. Life doesn't need more days. It needs more depth in the days you already have. People say they want a longer life. What they truly want is a life that feels long, a life that feels full, a life that feels lived. Time is not the ticking of a clock. It is the accumulation of moments that mattered, moments you noticed, moments that changed you, moments you were present for, moments your mind decided to keep. If your life feels fast, it's not because you're getting older. It's because you are not gathering enough moments worth remembering. Slow time by filling it. Slow time by noticing it. Slow time by living it. And when you do, something remarkable happens. Your days stretch, your weeks grow, your years deepen, your life expands. Not because you found more time, but because you finally started inhabiting the time that was already yours. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to breathe, a moment to notice something small, a moment that your mind can record. This is how it begins, one moment at a time. And if you want more videos that awaken your mind, shift your perspective, and help you understand yourself, then subscribe to Neurofuel. This journey is just beginning, and you deserve to experience time, not lose it.